Nuevo Sol, Televisión.
The experience has been very well here in the U.S. The feedback that I've had, especially from dreamers who are related to those groups that I work with, is that they're glad that they're having a material in Spanish because their parents now are able to understand what the movement is about. Some of their parents do not read very well in English, so it's good for them to have materials in Spanish explaining why their kids are getting arrested or why the kids are traveling around organizing and blocking streets. And it was very, very surprising to me that, I mean, I knew that maybe this was a new topic for many people in Mexico. But it was surprising to me that even activists or journalists that are very familiar with the immigration subject didn't have an idea about the reality of it.
I'm part of the San Fernando Valley Green Team, but I'm also part of a national network called the Queer Undocumented Project. And I came to the U.S. when I was 4 years old. I was born in Zacatecas, Mexico. I came to the San Fernando Valley particularly, and I've lived here for 21 years. I guess my story starts after I had transferred to, I started at Los Angeles Valley College. I was in the closet, both as undocumented and as a queer person. At that time, I felt like I was the only one. I knew there was a few others who were undocumented, but there were no groups on campus, there were no support networks that I knew of. It was all me and friends who were on that campus who I thought were the only people who were undocumented. So I lived in the shadows for many, many years.
It was very difficult. I've been here for about 7 years already, and it took me about 3 to adjust and to finally feel like I'm home and that I belong here for so many reasons. I mean, even though the culture was kind of hard to adjust to certain things I didn't have growing up or knowing what other people were talking about, but with time and also with a lot of patience, it becomes easier.
My parents and my 3 siblings have been here for 18 months. I haven't seen them for 18 months. So that was really difficult. That was one of my greatest motivations. But then another motivation was to get back home because I have lived here so long that this is home. Like over there, that's just my birthplace. That's where I was born. This is where I grew up. This is where everything.
You have to think of the generations that are coming behind you. What if deferred action, for example, is a program that can be removed anytime. So what are you going to do if that happens? So it's important for you to prepare yourself. It's important for you to understand why is it that you have now California Dream Act and deferred action. What movement or what did it took, the work that it took for that to happen. So it's important because, like I said, it's not only affecting you, it's affecting a whole community. It's affecting the whole economic system in this country. So it's something that not only affects the Latino community, the undocumented community, but the whole country as a whole. And that's why I believe you should care.
And just in general, I mean, you should care because we're talking about human beings. We're talking about basic human rights. And I think this is a basic reason of why we should also support this. Once again, we're talking about people's lives. We're not talking about objects or animals, you know, which we still care about animals as well. But I mean, we're human rights. That's what you should care. We're talking about a human being and their life on the line and their experiences on the line.
There's a need to advocate for these families because it's not only immigration reform that we need to speak about or the 11 million families that are here right now. It's also including these families that have been separated by deportations.
The last message I want to give is that when we're creating immigrant spaces, it is very important, as they already mentioned, it is a place where you give support to students and you feel safe, right? But it's also important to be LGBT inclusive and be intentional about this.
Every one of you talking to a dreamer, being a dreamer, or being an ally, has to realize that you are making history. That generations in 10, 15, 20 years later are gonna take a look back to this moment, seeing the way the immigration movement has changed because of the face of